Hey y'all, this is Dr. Traci Harrell, and today is what day? Labor Day. I love it. So, we're going to talk a little bit about work. We're going to talk about, this opportunity that we all have to show up in life, and you're gonna know what. If I can get my technology back on, living powerfully. Hey, I'm back. Sorry, I just had to angle the light a little better in this room. So we're going to talk about living powerfully today, but really, I got some little announcements for today from producer. Thank you for sharing. But first, we're going to talk about what it means to truly live powerfully as it relates to our work. Right. If you think about Labor Day, you can think about it 100 different ways. People take it off for a number of different reasons. What I'd like to hope is that the one thing that we all consider is what would it look like if every day you were doing the work that you loved? If each and every day you were showing up and you were able to do exactly the work that you love to do. Wouldn't that be exciting, right? And get paid to do it. Remember when we talked about this term ikigai? It's Ikigai. It's a Japanese term that really relates to living your best life, like living out your purpose. And Oprah's written books about purpose and the purpose-driven life, and there's all these conversations about living on purpose. But how many people can honestly say that they have that opportunity today? Raise your hand. Everybody should have their hands up because we all have the opportunity. We all have the possibility to take control of your life, to do the things, because you only get one, right? We only get one life to live. And it's like, yes, I did the corporate thing for 30 years. So I get it. They call it the golden handcuffs sometimes, where it's so nice to have like funds flowing and you don't really have to think about it. Fortunately, I was able to work with a nonprofit, the National Black MBA Association, the entire time that I was also a part of the corporate world. I worked 8 years at IBM, domestic and international. I did 2 international assignments with IBM, 14 years at the Disney company in a whole bunch of different roles. And when I found the roles that I was passionate about, even though I got a finance degree, I hated finance. Like I hate actually just working with numbers. I need to feel like I'm doing something to truly contribute. Like I had to think about my own values, right? Like what's really important to me, and feeling like I'm making things better is really, really important to me. So when I think about my labor, or when I think about my job or my vocation, I have to be in a role where I'm actually making things better, right? So that's part of my value system. So if you want to think about yours, right? Maybe you love kids and you're like, I want to be a teacher. There's all kind of ways, right? Things that you can do. Just make sure that the time that you're on this planet, that you are investing in those things that you love, that your labors of love, right, are the things that bring you joy, are the things that bring you passion. And I am technically, hopefully, still live. I can't see. Okay. I was like, I hope I'm still live. I don't know. I'm just talking. But what's really, really, really important is that we all show up in excellence, right? That we show up and we live this life fully, that we are taking full advantage of the gifts that our Heavenly Father put within each of us. So I just wanted to do a deeper reflection on Labor Day and ask you some really profound questions and to share with you some insights around this concept of living powerfully. So if you're able to comment, and I think I can see all comments from all destinations, I think. Today my technology is a little flawed, so I'm not 100% sure. But my producer will make sure that I see any comments. I hope he'll put them into the private chat if I can't see them in the comments. Okay, so think about what you're doing. Think about each and every day, and think about your life's goal. It is. Can you believe it's already September? Right? Of 2025, which means we are heading into the holidays and an entirely new year. And so if there were goals, and I do have to always flash back, if there were goals and aspirations and expectations, that you hope to accomplish in 2025, I just wanted to say it's not too late to laser focus on those. And even if you're like, hey, it was the fourth quarter games are won in the fourth quarter. People show up and kill it in the fourth quarter, right? So I just wanted to clarify, it's not too late to, whether it's a declaration about weight loss or that new job or the promotion or starting your business or just being a better person. Because, sometimes, you're like, I probably should, do this differently. Maybe I'm smoking. I don't know what that is because I don't smoke, but you know what I mean. Whatever it is, whatever habit that you want to get rid of, or new habit that you want to adopt, or goal that you want to accomplish, it's not too late. I just wanted to put that out there, and we know exactly how to accomplish your goals. It's one step at a time. It's the little steps, right? It's those little incremental things that you do each and every day. And so, the fact that I'm showing up every Monday on Rainier Avenue Radio, it's actually part of my personal vision as well, right? Part of my gifting to the universe is to say, we have a lot of really good information, and here's how we can show up in community, right? So again, I have a community. This is me being very transparent. I have a community of ladies that I am a part of. And Debrina Jackson Gandy she's my coach, as well as I coach other people and organizations. And, if within groups, the groups of the people that you connect with, if there's some people that you're like, I really, really want to do more of this thing, I really want to be more like these people. Debrina calls her group Holistic Success. Previously, it was called Juicy Woman University. And this idea of me, when I think about my own personal journey, I sometimes talk about what people should do, but then I don't talk about my own personal journey. So let me just tell you some insights. So this year, I have had to focus on me a lot more. I focused on my personal journey. I'm going to triple down, not double down. I'm going to triple down in Q4. I'm going to be focused on the transformation, and we do have tons of amazing content, right, to share with you. We have other people that we're going to be bringing in to tell their stories as well. Today, I want to provide both insight and opportunity. The opportunity is for you to really be honest with yourself and say, what do I want to do? Like, what goal do I want to accomplish between now and the end of the year? And I'm going to help you make it easy, because it can't be like, I want to earn $1 million. Like, we got to make it reasonable. I want to lose 100 pounds. We're talking in the next 3 months. So we're going to all be reasonable. And I'm going to have you put in the chat here, and I'm going to support you in whatever that goal is, right? I'm going to support you. Let me just say it again. I'm going to support you for free with multiple skills and layers of insights and all kinds of great information, but I'm going to support you on your journey. So I'm going to ask you to say, what would you like to accomplish in the next 3 months? So September, October, November. I'm going to not act like December doesn't exist, because it clearly does. But there's the holidays, there's all these things that happen. People are kind of disconnecting a little bit. So I'm going to focus on the next 3 months. So we'll be celebrating in December. So we're going to focus on September, October, and November. right? And then by December, you're like, what goal do I want to have accomplished by December? And then I'm going to tell you my goal, and you're going to share yours, and I'm going to help you with yours. So there's the top three that people have kind of emailed me prior to this live, and this is what I was told. Okay, I've had people talk about weight loss and losing weight, and believe it or not, more people than I expected have shared simple things like, I want to take my medication, I want to take my healthy supplements, and I don't do it. I've even had diabetics say, I'm diabetic and I don't take my medication. No judgment, because we all have situations and things. I have some supplements right now that I haven't taken, right, for the day. I eventually get them in, but it's like, no. So this is the one thing that we're going to do. And again, we've said it before. I'm just looking at the time here. We have said this before, and I want to make sure that we got 15 minutes. Okay. So before the first break, and then we'll have another, I'll do more of a declaration or providing some insights the second half of the show. But the first half of the show, I just want you to use this time to think about your own, opportunities. So we talked about this before. There's all kind of scientific evidence to say this is how and this is why, how we can live powerfully. But if you're trying to accomplish a goal, and I've been so blessed. The reason I can come up here every Monday and be like, look, and things don't always work out as you hope, for sure. They do not. There are things that I so need to go back and fix, that I'm going backwards to fix, for sure. But as we look forward, right? As you look forward to 2025, ending well. I'm going to say that again, ending well. There are people who you're going to encounter that are just not ideal for you. And I think Debrina, and others have used language around like trimming and pruning and cutting people out of your life. Do it well, right? You don't have to like end a relationship with someone in a way that is raggedy, nasty, or disrespectful. It's just, hey, I get to choose who I work with and how I work. Like someone asked me to do some work that was like, that is not what we agreed to. I don't want to, like, that's not how I want to spend my time. Like, that's not what we agreed. I want to help you in this way. If you don't want that help, then obviously, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. But I still want to contribute. Like I still want to end well. I want to package my work up and make sure it's available for those who can use it. But keep in mind, this has been the lesson for me. You can only help people as much as they truly want to be helped. You got to meet people where they are. So oftentimes I've noticed that I enjoy helping other people as opposed to turning the lens on myself. So a lot of 2025 has been Traci work as well as, helping other people as well. So I'm kind of balancing those two things. So for your project, whatever your project is, on Labor Day, right, we're just going to pause and say, choose labors of love. Like choose, I know I'm playing with words, so stay with me. Choose labors of love, meaning do what you love as much as possible. Hang with the people that fuel you as much as possible. Those are labors of love too. If you connect with someone and then they kind of like they're a control freak and, or they're not as positive as you'd like, or whatever the case may be, you get to choose differently. And by the way, over the, what day was that? Last week, I can't even remember what day it was now. I think it was Tuesday. I supported, I did some training at Pierce College. And I packaged them. I think I shared that some of the presentation with you all. I think I showed half of it or so. But what I was able to do was to create a space for young people, high school and college aged, students, to think about their goals. They ate it up. It was so exciting. They were like, "Wow, this is." It was so good. And so when I say that fueled me feeling like I could help other people, and I drove, Lakewood is far from Bellevue. Right now I'm in Edmond, so if you can imagine, we drove. And it was a labor of love for me. A labor of love. I do work in community all the time for free because it's a labor of love. Like, I actually want to contribute to organizations that are doing the work, right? AWA, the African American Writers Alliance. I help them with some grant writing, and I'm on the fundraising committee. And one of the ladies who's been around forever, like, you know, they're just wonderful people. So all I can say is I want to do more of that. Whenever I'm in their presence, it's like I want to help them. I want to do more, right? Not overdo, because I do have a habit of overdoing. But we get to choose like who we work with. People that are good people that, you know, that try to do their best in the community and do the work. Those are the people that we want to help. So I will continue to do that work in community. I will continue to support organizations that are doing great work. I will absolutely continue to support anyone and everyone who is showing up, trying to leave their legacy in community. I love that. I've been talking about legacy. Those are the three words that are profound to me when it comes to living powerfully. It's about leaving your legacy now. Really, it's about living, not leaving, because that would imply, you know, you could say leaving, but really living, like waking up, preparing to do something great for others. There's nothing wrong with that. That's called a labor of love. So if your work is like, I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I've had those days where when I was in the corporate space, it was like I had to get prayed up. I had to listen to a whole sequence of gospel songs. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself, right? So I'm just gonna be honest, and I know I've been in the rooms. I've heard many of you say, "Yep, I have to get prayed up to go to work." Well, just think about let this Labor Day be a new day to say, "What could I do differently?" I know you're like, "I got to keep staying here so I can clock it." No, you don't have to do anything. Pray about it. Ask your divine creator. And he will make a way, right? He will make a way. Get a plan, write out some things, right? Document, like, here's what I want Labor Day to mean to me. If this Labor Day, you're like, "Ooh, I'm struggling." And we all hear about it, right? With this attack on DEI, even things that were not allowable or acceptable, layers of disrespect. It's just like people feel like they have free reign, to do things to people that are just not appropriate. So I'm just going to say, again, you get to choose what your labor looks like, right? And so let's let Labor Day be a time and a day where we choose labors of love, where we connect with people in community that are wonderful, that are doing great things. Again, I have a whole presentation that I'm going to share here in a minute. But first, I just wanted to kind of put this into the universe. And thank you for the comment. I have someone just texted me. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yes, it's true. I know. I have people reach out to me all the time talking about their experiences in the office. And fortunately, the work, when we talk about changing systems, we start with ourselves. Right? Because we are the system too. We're part of the system. There are things we can do to help others, and we can bring messaging into organizations, but we can also just show up in excellence for ourselves and keep it moving. Right? I mean, that is also very important. And so what I'm going to share with each of you is Labor Day, choose labors of love. Pause. Period. So here are my labors. This show is one of my labors of love. Hello. Yes, I love the comments. Labors of love. This show is one of my labors of love. I met the owner, Tony Benton, over a year ago, maybe 2 now. Don't even remember, but amazing dude. He had just had a stroke. He was recovering from the stroke, and he was talking about like the work that he was doing in community. And I didn't know anything about it until, again, we met. It was beautiful. I did a follow-up. I went there, and it was like divine intervention. So sometimes you make these immediate connections and it's like, okay, he's like, I got a platform, which was this show, this Rainier Avenue Radio. And I used to do a live radio and YouTube show on another network, a white network, or, KKNW, I think it's called. Which is great. Nothing was wrong with that. But when this was a Black owned for our community, I thought, okay, see, that's just another way that I can contribute and bring content from this corporate background that I have, which is such a blessing. Again, I thank God for it every day. But now I get to become an entrepreneur, and I get to continue to work with nonprofits and lead my own nonprofit, which is called It's All Bigger Than Me Ministry. So the work I've done for the last, honestly, since 2019 has really been, dang, that's a long time. I think it's 2019. Has it been that long? Jeez. Has really been focused on, or based on, this divine calling. Do you see that little image in the background? The peace dove. So and again, I'm not political in nature, but I think it was like around the time, again, I was leaving the corporate space. God had given me clarity. He gave me the name of my business, which was It's All Bigger Than Me. There's a song, Daniel, I don't know if you can find a song for me, but it's by Leandra Johnson called Bigger Than Me. Bigger Than Me, yeah. By Leandra Johnson. If you can find that, bring it up. Let me see if I can find it. I'll find it over the break. Or you guys find it. Bigger Than Me by Leandra Johnson is the name of it. And if you find the version that has, I don't know if we can play music on this channel. I don't know if we can do that here. But anyway, it's called Bigger Than Me. It's a beautiful video. And it's the one that actually, shows the words. It's the coolest one. And I've used it in presentations before because what it says, the words are, no matter, I used to dim my light to make others feel right. How many times has that happened at work, right? You have to dim your own light to make other people feel right. That's the first line of the thing. So when I heard the song, I was like, I used to dim my light to make others feel right, right? But right, you get to show up, and it basically says, I get to show up in my full grace because I'm working for somebody who's bigger than me. Like, it's all bigger than me, right? And when I heard that, I was like, yikes, yay! It was beautiful. So my labor, my life took a whole new direction. So when I say sometimes I wake up and I just like, is this my life? Like, I'm so happy and so joyful and so grateful. I'm like, is this my life right now? Like, are these, wow. Like, I can't, like, the level of gratitude is so humongous because I listened. And I'm going to use a word that may sound weird for someone who's always talking about the scientific methodology for change, right? But I surrendered. I don't know why I'm doing these hand movements. Maybe because I wanted to say, I surrendered. I found peace through surrender. So my labor became joy and peace. So Labor Day for me is just another celebration of my divine calling. I know, isn't it crazy? So we've done some sessions where we talked about living powerfully with AI. Right, that's another area of focus that I'm going to be going down because God said so. He gave me the power to do so. I'm bringing some other people in. There's some other things we're going to do, but let me just circle back. I got 2 minutes before we have to go to break, and then 1 minute barely before we have to go to break. So then I'm going to circle back with the steps that we're going to follow. But the reason I wanted to tell you this little story is because there's peace, there's joy, there is complete, like, waiting to exhale. There's no more waiting. when you surrender, there's no more waiting, right? And it's like every day is a choice. And I like to say that our decisions determine our destiny. So today you can decide that you're gonna invest your time and your energy in labors of love, in groups that you like, in organizations like Rainier Avenue Radio that you support. And I support it by bringing my amazing content here for free, by bringing people and things and information for free here for you all. This is forever in the universe, right? And so, if you love children, and I like children, I don't have any, so I don't like them that much. No, I'm just It's true. It's true. I have nieces and nephews. I'm a great aunt. I'm a decent aunt, I think. But I never wanted children. Like I never wanted to have children. And I say that partially because when I write books, which I'm writing my next book, by the way, when I create content like this, these are my babies. These are I'm contributing in the universe. And so part of the work that I've done over the last year with Rainier Avenue Radio, we're packaging some of this content into my next book, actually, which is exciting. Some of the content, again, I had to write something to come up here. So it's really, really tight. And so it's going to be packaged, and then we'll have some of these videos and elements that we can pull into it as well. So I could not be more excited to show up here every week for each of you. Now, we're going to go to a break and we're going to come back, and I'm going to have some more specifics about not only turning Labor Day into a lifetime of labors of love each and every day. So this is like, how do you live powerfully every day? Choose well, choose you, choose wisely, and that your decisions determine your destiny. The little things, and everyone can do it. So come back, join me right after this break, and we're going to talk even more specifically about what you can do to live powerfully. Stay with us. We'll be right back on Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Rainier Avenue Radio at World.
Are your kids eligible for or enrolled in Apple Health Medicaid insurance? Bring them to a free dental clinic in Skyway this fall. Public Health Seattle and King County is hosting free dental clinics for kids 12 and under at the Skyway Resource Center, one Saturday per month, now until December. Visit kingcounty.gov/ABCD for more information. Again, that's kingcounty.gov/ABCD for free dental clinics for kids.
Hey y'all, it's Traffic Jam with Kareem.
Thursday at 4 p.m.
Hey, Traffic Jam. Rainier Avenue Radio, download the app so you don't miss out what's popping, what's cracking, what's shining. It's your boy, Kareem the Dream, on another beautiful week on here on Traffic Jam in Seattle. I hope you guys doing what you're supposed to be, being you're supposed to be. I got a good show for y'all. A lot to talk about. Kareem the Dream, keep up with everything.
Get your entertainment news with Kareem on the Traffic Jam Thursday at 4 p.m.
The climate crisis is here, and communities most impacted are standing up. This is Earth Deserves More Than a Day, hosted by Rainier Avenue Radio and King County Parks. From elected officials, grassroots leaders, from river tours to cultural art, we gather to take action. Listen in. Learn more, then get involved, because the Earth can't wait, and neither can we.
1, 2, get down.
What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Maraire, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
Sediment cleanup of the lower Duwamish River has begun. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency and the members of the Lower Duwamish Waterway Group, which includes King County, the City of Seattle, and Boeing, have begun sediment cleanup of the Lower Duwamish Waterfall Superfund site. This important environmental project will address sediment pollution and help restore the health of the Duwamish River. Starting on the waterway's upper reach, construction activities extend from the South 102nd Street Bridge down straight to the Duwamish Waterway Park. Over the next 3 years, in-water activities will occur from October to February, ending in February 2027. Visit ldwg.org to learn about the upper reach cleanup and sign up for email updates.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Don't forget to log on www.RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Hey, y'all. Happy Labor Day, family. Now, today is not about barbecues and beach chairs, although there's nothing wrong with that because I love Labor Day. Today, for me, is about honoring labor and not just the work we do for a paycheck, but the labor that fills our soul. And I'm talking about our labors of love. So why does Labor Day exist and how is it evolved? Right? Living powerfully is about aligning life with our labors of love. So we love Labor Day. We love taking time off. We love the enjoy. But I'm talking about living powerfully by aligning your life with labors of love. So the first thing we're going to do really quickly is talk about what are labors of love. And of course, that's going to differ for each person, right? It's the work that's done not for money. It's done for meaning. It's done for legacy, and it's done for joy. Again, it's like raising children. Like I said, that ain't my thing. Caregiving, I'm loving. Teaching, I love teaching and mentoring and building community and writing and activism and art. Those are all labors of love, right? Sometimes, it can be sweaty and messy, unfiltered work, like untangling holiday lights. So people love that kind of stuff, right? Explaining Wi-Fi to your parents. That could be a labor of love, right? So what is one thing that you would still do if nobody paid you? What are some of the things that you do today where no one pays you? That's me. That's the show. That's me showing up in community, donating my time, gifting my time, making sure that what I deliver is excellent to the best of my abilities. Are you with me? Labors of love are those things that we do for meaning, for legacy, when we know we're trying to leave something for the next generation. Or you do it for joy. I just enjoy art, right? Like it's all good activism. Like some people are like, I want to change the world, and I'm not very political. So I kind of be like, I like to say I'm not the party of red or the party of blue. I'm the party of purple. So where can we find some alignment and move forward? That's all I want to do. Like, I'm kind of like, let's just keep it moving, people. Let's build community. Let's align. Let's uplift each other. So I don't do politics, but some people are like, I got to fight for the powers that be. And I love that. So there's no judgment about your labor of love, but you just got to have some, right? That's it. A Labor Day, it's like pause and say, what am I doing that are labors of love? That's not just about work. That's important. That's really important. So there's some tension sometimes between your work and your calling, right? Because there's a reality. There's bills. There's these side hustles that we have, right? There's the difference between a job and a career and your calling, right? A job feeds your wallet. We need that. A career feeds your ego. I love my titles. I love saying I worked in the corporate space for 30 years and I named these 3 major companies. That's a little ego. I know every time I say it, I'm kind of like, but it's true. Like that was my career. That was my choice. And I grew up a hood girl, a little bit in the hood, you know what I'm saying? And so I knew that working for a company like IBM out of college, moving to a company like Microsoft, traveling internationally with a company like Disney, right? I'm a Florida girl, so clearly working in a leadership role. That was my career. That was a career path that I chose, but the entire time I was feeding my soul. My calling was in the nonprofit space. I was part of the National Black MBA Association since college, right? But even prior to that, even when I was in high school, I was helping people, right? Like I knew I had a calling. So if you think about, a mini journaling prompt for you, right? That would be, if my 9-to-5 job vanished tomorrow, what would I still wake up and be excited to do? That's part of the calling part. That's part of the legacy, right? That's the living powerfully framework. That's part of what fuels you. We talked about the ikigai, those 3 things: do what you love, do what you're good at, fulfill a need in community, and do something where you can get paid. So it's like those 4 circles, concentric circles, and the part in the middle that's like, that's that little centerpiece. That's how I'm showing up today, guys. It's not impossible to do, right? Like I feel like there is more of us that could be doing it if we knew that it was a thing. So I read a book, again, I was a reader. I was a bit of a nerd, I do have to admit. And I read over 1,000 books, and then I stopped counting, like not reading summaries and calling it reading the book, but like actually reading the book through and through, and then reading it again and again, right? And so one of the books that I read growing up was, it was Deepak Chopra. It was the 7 Laws of Spiritual Success. And another book was, I read a lot of books by, anyway, let me, it's not about books. I'll do a whole book thing another day, and I'll talk about some book reviews. That's what I'll do another day. But I just wanted to say that I learned early in my life, and I was always curious about the mind. So a lot of the books I read, 99.5% of all the books I ever read, probably even higher than that, were nonfiction books. They were about the mind. They were about people. They were about, this concept of living powerfully. Like I was fascinated by that. And the tension between work and calling, I don't know if I ever had tension. I just knew, even when I was in the corporate space, I knew that I had to contribute my energy, my time, my intellect, the lessons that I had learned, that I knew I had to contribute them in community. Now you got to choose the right people in community. They have to be aligned with your values. They have to be ready to kind of up level. So you can't just work with anybody, just so that's clear. But you do want to work with people, and you want to make sure that your work and your calling are aligned, right? So there doesn't need to be tension. So I'm going to say again, the journaling prompt for you guys to write out, question number 1 for yourself is, if your 9-to-5 vanished tomorrow, what would I still wake up and be excited to do? Okay. That's topic number 2 for the day. Topic number 3 is about legacy and community. So if you think about this thing, labors of love, things that you do from a source of love, and love is so powerful, right? It's divine, but it's also scientifically proven that when you do something with a positive intent, right, the ripples and the energy and the follow-up, the follow-through, the implementation, the stickiness, right, is so powerful, because you believe that you're contributing to the lives of others. So that there are, this positive psychology and the cognitive behavioral psychology, performance science. That's the work that I do with my, that I do. So this idea of saying, I believe it to be true, whether it's divine or it's scientific, when you know that you're leaving a legacy, just know that your labors of love ripple outward. They're basically seeds that you are planting for future generations. So you don't have to do a whole lot of extra stuff, right? If you think about Adafua, which is a group that I was supporting, she's done work in community for 40 years. They're like the legacy of Adafua. Think about the Buffalo Soldiers and their youth program. They show up riding horses, doing what they love, and guess what? There's a ripple effect, right? They even, small family rituals that are passed down, right? Values. I was talking about AWA earlier, the African American Writers Alliance, AAWA. And Dr. Georgia McDade, I forgot the name of the original founder, but I know she's one of the longest, I can't say oldest, longest members of AWA. And like, this is a woman that I actually respect and value, that I'm like, you say her name and people are like, she is a woman of excellence, right? So that's legacy. She's shown up in community for decades now, doing work that she loves. She loves to read, she loves to write, and she wants to make sure you know it. She's created a group and an organization of people who are moving that work forward. She knows that when she's gone, it will move forward because she didn't try to like make it all about her, right? And it wasn't like she founded it, but she's been a part of it. So it's like each of us, and she always talks about we need other people, we need younger people, and there's young people, there's old people, there's tons of people. So legacy it's not what we leave for people, it's what we leave in people. I'm going to say that again. Legacy isn't like something, it's not just what we build and then we leave it and you're gone. It's like, what did you plant in someone? What experiences did you have with someone? The Buffalo Soldiers, they show up and they have experiences together, right? They're willing to grow and learn and to invest in each other, which I think is just so beautiful and so powerful. So legacy, again, it isn't what we leave for people, it's what we leave in people. So I'm going to ask each of you again to write down one person or community that you want your labor of love to impact this year. Okay. Let me just say that again. Name one person or one community. You may say it's youth. If your passion is art and you want people to, tap into their artistic, energies, just think about one person or one community that you want your labor of love to impact. Hopefully first, you've already identified your labor of love, right? And we're going to talk, and if not, we're going to now talk about in this fourth topic, and I'm moving pretty quickly. We're going to talk about how to find your labor of love. So we've used this term many, many times. I'm just going to break it down and give you a quick exercise. I talked about this term ikigai. It's Ikigai. It's a Japanese term, and the direct translation is reason for being. It's your sweet spot, right? It's like where your passion, your talent, your service, and your value meet up right in the middle, right? And that's how you know what your labor of love is. When you're doing what you were meant to do, you're doing your passion. It's what do I love to do? So that's the first question. I'm going to ask you 4 questions to help you find your passion, your talent, your service, and your value, right? So these are the 4 questions. Stay with me. Okay, hold on. So someone just put a question in. I'm going to see if I can answer that question really quickly. Again, most people think about Labor Day as a day off from work, and we're thinking bigger today, right? We're talking about how to live your life in pursuit of what I call your labors of love. These are the things you do whether a paycheck ever showed up or not. It's the work that fills your soul, that sustains your spirit, it builds your legacy. So we're talking about what labors of love are, why they matter, how do you discover yours, and most importantly, how to actually live them out powerfully starting today. Yes, I know. So we talk about labors of love and what they are. It's not about the money. It's not about recognition. It's about meaning. It's the work you do because it feels aligned with who you are, because you know it matters. It matters to you. Think about parenting and caregiving. We talk about that, volunteering and teaching and all kind of stuff, right? Or even holding space for someone going through a hard time. Like some people are just good listeners. That's so beautiful. That's a labor of love. These are things that we do, and you're like, this is who I am. None of these things might make you rich, but they make you rich in spirit. I am a billionaire in spirit. I am. I feel rich in spirit, even just showing up here today. Like I said, let's be real. Not all labors are of love or Instagram cute, right? Some are messy. Some are exhausting. Some are unglamorous. Like braiding a little girl's hair before school, staying up late to edit a community newsletter, teaching your parents how to use Wi-Fi, right, for the 15th time. Yes, family, that's a labor of love too, because we have choices. You could choose to invest or you could choose not to invest. So again, ask yourself, what would I still do even if nobody ever paid me, right? That's a clue to your labor of love, right? We talked about feeding your wallet versus, following a calling that feeds your soul. So we asked you to think about what would you do if your 9-to-5 job vanished, right? And then we talked a little bit about legacy versus community. And again, because we know that our labors of love ripple out, they plant seeds. They're the things that shape legacy, right? So legacy isn't what you leave for people. It's what you leave in people, right? So it's so you got to ask yourself, what are you pouring into others? This is me showing up here on a Monday. I'm pouring into each of you, right? What are you sowing in your family? And again, think about it. You could say words, but if you're not living it out, for example, we talk about this positive intelligence and showing up and being kinder and calmer and all the things that you can be. Just you showing up better shows other people how to do it, because it wasn't something that we were all taught, right? In your community, for future generations, what are you doing, right? Well, how are you pouring into other people? That's really the question of the day. So if you want to leave a legacy, this is another activity. Write down just one person, just one, who you want your labor of love to impact. It could be your niece, it could be your husband, it could be your wife, it could be a neighbor, it could be a mentee, it could be a community group. The name, whatever it is, you just got to name it, claim it, right? And now we're going to go a little deeper. Thank you for the questions someone asked, and I'm just circling back to where we last were. It was about, now, what if I don't know what my labor of love is? So now we're going to talk a little bit back to Ikigai, IKI-GAI, your reason for being. It's the sweet spot, right? What you love. So we're going to ask 4 questions. What do you love? What do you love to do? What brings you joy? On Labor Day, what choices, are you making for yourself? Right? Maybe I like to read. Maybe I like spa stuff. This is me. I love music. I love spa. I love helping people. I love crafting. I do like art as well. So think about what you love, and then think about what you're really good at. I'm really good at a lot of things. I'm good at helping people. I'm good at taking a lot of information and making it concise. I'm actually really good at a number of things. But what does the world really need? And the people that I want to support in the communities that I'm in right now, we need both. We need about 3 things, right? And so the things that I'm focused on is living powerfully with AI, because that's going to be really important. But it's also about our mind and how we show up. A lot of people just are not aware how they show up in community. They say people hate them and people don't like them, and there's these bumps in relationships, and they don't understand why. It's you. Sorry, it's you. It's you, because you're the source. And so you get to see yourself differently. You get to see how you impact others. You see your saboteurs. You minimize your saboteurs. You show up with you show up differently using your superpowers, right? That's part of it. So we want to help people be their best, and then also leverage tools that are going to make them their best, right? Meaning AI and stuff like that. So those are my 2 big areas. And then how I'm applying AI is going to be helping people with their business and with their life, like just using some tools, getting hands-on, getting into some specific things that people can do. So that's me. But this is 4 questions for you. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And what can you freely share? This I can freely share. I can come up here every week and talk about AI and help people. And I can also show up and talk about how do we live our best life? How do we show up and enjoy? Y'all, I'm not pretending to be happy. I am gratefully, joyfully, sometimes, and I get sad too. I get upset too. I do. But not often, and it don't last long, because I just remember I'm just grateful, right? I'm just grateful. So again, 4 questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What does the world need? And then what can you freely share? When you overlap all 4 areas, that's the labor of love in the middle. So you can just kind of write some things down. You kind of draw a piece of paper in 4 sections, and write some things here and write some things there and write some things there. And then the things that overlap in the middle, right? When you say, oh, that is all of these things. That's it. So that's why I'm a consultant and a coach. That's why my business is called It's All Bigger Than Me, because somebody told me, show up, surrender, and I got you. So I'm like, it's all bigger than me, baby. So all the work I do is under this umbrella of It's All Bigger Than Me ministry, because God has got my back. God is the one who's going to reward me. I don't need nobody on earth to reward me. If God said, end well, do this way. I'm gonna listen to him because he's always right. He's always right, right? So I'm just saying, I got some stuff I need to fix and stuff I'm going back to. Absolutely, but I'm just saying, if we surrender and we're calm and we meditate and ask the question, those 4 questions are pretty easy, right? So if you think about, when you overlap those areas, that's when you find your labor of love. And if you think about mentoring young leaders, for example, or cooking meals that carry family traditions forward, that's a labor of love too. Writing, singing, creating art that stirs your heart, right? If your labor of love is napping, I see you and I celebrate that too. Because I guess what I did today, I had to nap in. I left a place in Seattle later than I planned to. I napped in today and I celebrated myself. I'm allowed. I'm allowed. So write down 3 things that you love doing, then circle the one that makes you feel the most alive and start there. Just start there. That's a starting point. Write down 3 things that you love doing, circle the one that makes you feel the most alive, and then start there. So these are practical steps to pursue your labors of love. Okay. First, you want to move from theory to practice. So inspiration is great, but action is what builds legacy. So here's the 4 steps to pursue your labor of love. And happy Labor Day, by the way. Step 1 is to prioritize. So don't wait for the perfect time. Block out 15 minutes today, this week. Even small deposits of time matter. If you say, I got 2 minutes today to think about it, every day, think about your labor of love and do one thing each day. I'm saying 2 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever it is. But just start with 2, right? And just don't wait. Just prioritize pursuing your labor of love, even if it's for a short amount of time. P, partner. Labors of love grow in community. So that's why when I mentioned AWA, African American Writers Alliance, that's an amazing group. They've been around for decades. I don't even know how long, but decades for sure. And Dr. Georgia McDade is one of the earlier founders. And there's a lot of older people that are part of it. But there's also young people. They're like 11 and 12 that are in there doing poetry and parents and everything. It's beautiful. So labors of love grow in community. So bring others in. If there's not a community that already exists on your topic, if you're like, I love planting, but I don't have, whatever. Or I love writing, but I don't, whatever. Go online. It's too easy right now to find groups online, whether it's Facebook or online in general. Like, just find it. And if not, start your own group, right? Find somebody else. So you go to the, find someone else. And we'll talk about that more later. I'll keep moving because he just told me I'm short on time. So partner. Labors of love grow in community. I love that line. Bring others in. Invite them to dream and build with you. And it's work. I mean, the National Black MBA Association has been around for 50 some years, and it's a fully nonprofit volunteer organization, right? But it is an organization. There is organization involved. There's a process. There's people. There's not one person that's like leading a whole thing. So it's like labors of love grow in community. You got to bring others in. And then pace yourself, right? It's not a sprint, it's a rhythm, right? Don't burn yourself out. Like, okay, I got to make up for lost time. No, a labor of love should nourish you. It should not drain you. This is something that like when you do it, you feel fulfilled. I leave these sessions and I'm like, oh, I did my part. Thank you, Jesus. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I feel great because I'm supporting I'm contributing. I know this is good stuff. You can take it in and rewind. And like I said, I'm putting this in my book. I wrote this out. This is in my book, y'all. I'm just saying, right? So pace yourself, right? It's not a sprint. It's a rhythm, right? Don't burn yourself out. Again, it should drain you. And then P, these are all P's, by the way. Prioritize, partner, pace yourself, and pivot. If what once gave you life now only drains you, shift, pivot. Your labor of love can evolve as you evolve. Because you may used to say, well, I started this career because I loved ABCD. If it doesn't serve you now, keep it moving. End well and transition and keep it moving. So that's your challenge for the week, is make your own labor of love list. Write down 3 things, 3 that nurture you, right? And then you intentionally nurture those things over the next 30 days, at least over the next week. Let's just do it for a week. We'll come back to it, right? and then share them with someone that you trust and commit to showing up for at least one of them, right? So that's your action challenge. And if you think about it, this is my true family, and you guys are all my family. Living powerfully means not just honoring the work that you have to do, but the work you're called to do, the work that leaves a legacy. Remember this, your greatest labor is not what you build, but who you become in the building. Can I say that again? I need y'all to hear me on this one, right? Your greatest labor is not in what you build. It's not the building. It's not the thing. It's about how do you show up in community? How are people experiencing you? Are you leaving dead bodies along the way? Are you just disrespecting people along the way? You know, like who are you becoming as you're building the thing? Because really every day is about you showing up as your best, like God's watching. So that's the other labor of love. Make sure you're oozing love in everything you do. I try, right? Even when negative energies come in my way, I try to, shut it down. And I try to, so think about greatest labor is not what you build. It's about who you become in the building. So when I say there's multiple layers to this living powerfully, oops, okay, I think I gotta go. So I'm gonna wrap. So on this Labor Day, I invite you to pursue your labors of love, to nurture them, to celebrate them, and to let them shape the story of your life. Again, the call to action is to share your labor of love with me. Tag me, message me, or post, and let's inspire each other this Labor Day and every day. Again, we're in September. It's 9/1, people. 2025 is on the way out. So we're gonna join together. We're going to do those 4 P's. We're going to prioritize. We're going to partner, pace yourself, and then pivot. It's okay to say something that used to give me joy doesn't anymore. Do something else. So we're going to pivot. We're going to transition. I am Dr. Traci Harrell. I am grateful to have been your host for Living Powerfully today. And the next time, know that we are going to continue living, loving, and leaving a legacy. Now, I have a couple of quick announcements to share. I have to find them again. Okay. Rainier Avenue Radio's first broadcast of the season is this Saturday, the 6th at noon, featuring Franklin at #19 Garfield, featuring live play-by-play, color commentary, sideline interviews, multiple camera angles, and up-to-the-minute scores and standing. Wow, that is going to be amazing. Ooh, I love football. And I don't even root for one team. I just like really good sports. So there's not going to be any Lidline sports tonight. They're off for the holiday. But I do want to remind you about, is there another announcement? Put it up and you got me. I'm here for you. Okay, but you'll see them next week on Mondays at 7:00, and you join me next week right here on Rainier Avenue Radio at 6 p.m. This is Dr. Traci Harrell. Together with us.